Hello and welcome to the Year 10 Virtual Parent Support Evening. I am Miss Fernandez, Learning Coordinator for Year 10. It's a privilege to continue working with this cohort as they progress through the school. Year 10 have settled into their learning zone well and have readjusted to the demands of Key Stage 4 study. Many pupils are feeling more confident in their chosen subjects and are working hard to put in place study habits with their long-term success in mind. Mr. Johnston, Assistant Learning Coordinator, and I are fortunate to work with charismatic, generous and socially aware pupils who are keen to use their talents for the greater good. Example of this are our 3-year representatives chosen for their dedication to projects last year, along with those involved in pupil parliament and chaplaincy. It's been wonderful to see so many of our pupils volunteer to be KISS representatives too. It is hoped that the season of Advent starting soon and preparation for Christmas will allow pupils the time for spiritual reflection and creativity to close what has been a challenging term. I will start by outlining retrieval practice, an approach to studying that can help refine learning techniques. Mrs. Ince will share information about our school's wellbeing team, and Mr. Anderson will offer guidance on remote learning. The Year 9 study skills session that took place around this time last year introduced pupils to the memory clock method of revision. The planning and completing of revision in this way helps to transfer information from the working memory, where it is consciously processed, to the long-term memory, where it can be retrieved. I'd like to build on this now by explaining retrieval practice and how it can benefit pupils with their study at home. Retrieval practice is a simple concept. It is trying to recall information without having it in front of you. For example, in GCSE religious studies, it may be trying to explain the features and importance of a Jewish wedding ceremony without looking at notes. The concept is not new. Flashcards are built around this. However, what is new is research from educationalists and cognitive psychologists who have found that in comparison to other study methods, such as revision guides or rereading notes, retrieval practice is far more powerful at cementing and consolidating knowledge. I thought I'd suggest some retrieval practice strategies that can be tried at home. I've been careful that these suggestions are not onerous. There are so many demands on our time now, so it's important revision pupils are completing is meaningful and allows them to progress in their learning. So firstly, what do I know about? Pupils start with a blank piece of paper and write down as much as they can remember about a given topic in a given time. They can then use their notes to add to anything they have missed. Secondly, picture prompts. Ask your son or daughter to explain how a picture links to a particular concept. Thirdly, lists. Set a timer and list as much as possible about a topic in that time. Next, use websites such as Seneca Learning and Quizlet. These offer subject-specific quizzes that are tailored to exam specifications. Finally, try exam questions without revision to see what pupils can remember. Pupils should then fix the answer in a different colour pen using notes or a textbook. At this stage in their learning, pupils should have a range of exam questions in their exercise books. Adding a timed element to this can help pupils become more confident with exam conditions. If those suggestions sounded simplistic, that's not a bad thing. Research shows that retrieval practice can be more effective than pupils spending hours and hours creating mind maps or detailed notes, which often do not yield the results intended, as nothing has been done to embed the information. A lot of pupil anxiety around this time in the year is around workload. It can be daunting for pupils to find out what they have forgotten, but this method allows for gaps in learning to be identified and steps quickly taken to rectify the issues. The concept of do-it-now starter activities are familiar to pupils in class. These help pupils to recall key points from their previous lessons. The use of retrieval practice at home can be another way for pupils to process their learning that day. I hope that's been useful. Before I hand over to the wellbeing team, I would encourage you to keep in communication with us so that we may support you. If you have a subject-specific query, please direct this to your child's teacher. Discussing your child's learning reviews would be a good place to start so you can help them to identify their strengths and their weaknesses. Year 10 are fortunate to have an experienced team of tutors supporting them, and we recommend you call them or contact them if you are worried. Details are on the screen now should you wish to make contact. In addition, please contact Mrs. Mees, our attendance officer, for any concerns regarding self-isolation or periods of absence. I hope you find the rest of this presentation informative. Thank you very much for listening.
Good evening, my name is Miss Schooler and I'm the mental health lead at the St John Henry Newman School. I'm presenting on behalf of Mrs Ince, our Deputy Mental Health Lead, who is having to self-isolate at present. I've been asked to speak to you as parents and carers about the support we can offer your child if they are struggling with their emotional health and well-being. Everyone has mental health and we need to ensure that we're looking after ourselves and our children's mental health now more than ever. We should treat our mental health as we would our physical health and reach out when we need help. We are fortunate to work with an amazing wellbeing team. Hopefully you recognise someone in the team. Some of the staff look quite young here, but hopefully there's someone you think that can help to support your child. The staff may support by being on the wellbeing on-call team or in the day room at lunchtime for wellbeing drop-in, running group intervention, mentoring or counselling our pupils and students. They may also be able to signpost you to external agencies or know where to get help to support you and your child. It's important to recognise what is normal behaviour for a young person and when signs may become a cause for concern. We all need reassurance as parents and guardians when dealing with teenagers and young people, as I'm sure we can all remember what a minefield growing up can be. To help us support all students appropriately, we use the NSPCC scaling system. This helps staff to consider the current emotional health and well-being needs of our students and provide the most effective support. We often see students who are doing okay, and this is the hope we all have for our children, although even these students need help and guidance in looking after their mental health. Sometimes students will need extra support with their mental health, and it's therefore important to know what to do to help support your child as their needs change. As we all know, the pressures on our lives change from day to day, and this can greatly affect our well-being. This means that students can move up and down on this scale, and the scale helps us decide on the levels of support we will put in place. Through educating and supporting all our students, we aim for everyone to be doing okay. The support in place at this level is through delivery of the PSHCE programme and our student wellbeing newsletter. Students are also welcome to drop into the day room at lunchtimes to talk over a worry or concern. This immediate support means that we try to avoid small problems escalating. Sometimes pupils are showing signs of struggling and we will start to look at some low-level support. We may bring in more regular wellbeing check-ins from our form tutors, assistant learning coordinators and learning coordinators alongside our wellbeing team. We may suggest some group interventions at this stage too, or some support from outside of school. Sometimes we class students as unwell with regard to their mental health. This is where we may need to look at more specific targeted support, and we would involve the GP if it's not already been done. We may be looking at mentoring, focused group intervention, or even individual counselling. This may happen inside of school, or we may be signposting your child outside of school to external agencies. Sometimes students can be in crisis. This is when your child needs urgent help in the form of accident and emergency, or perhaps specialist CAM support. Again, we can help with signposting and making a referral if necessary. Form tutors are a great first point of call as they spend time with your son or daughter every day. They will know what to do or who to speak to if they're worried or need more help. Emailing the wellbeing email, a member of the wellbeing team can come and check in with your son or daughter if you're worried. Staff also use this if there's a wellbeing concern in a lesson, and the wellbeing team will come to whoever needs some more support. There's the wellbeing daily drop-in every lunchtime in the day room. Do encourage your child to come along if they need that support. The school website is a great resource for you for extra guidance and has links to lots of specific websites, as there is so much to choose from. We've listed the most useful ones to help you. Finally, we've attached a link for a really helpful guide for parents and carers, Make It Count, from the Mental Health Foundation. Thank you all for listening, and please do get in touch with me or Mrs. Ince if you're worried. We are here to help.
I'd like to spend my section of the presentation talking about remote learning. It is now something that become a reality for all and any Year 10 students. I'd like to ensure that you as parents are aware of the different scenarios you might encounter, the different platforms where it can be accessed, and the expectation of pupils and teachers. The 3 scenarios when we may need to use remote learning are listed here. In short, an individual self-isolating, a whole year group self-isolating, or part of a year group self-isolating. I would like to explain what will happen in each scenario next. If only individuals are self-isolating, we will set tasks and leave PowerPoints for lessons on Show My Homework or in the Microsoft Teams area for the class. We will be unable to deliver live lessons to individuals as class teachers are teaching the rest of the class, but teachers are available via email to discuss any queries with their work. If this is a prolonged, learning coordinators and the pastoral team will review the provision and ensure everything is running smoothly. If a whole year group must isolate, this will return back to the same situation we had during the initial lockdown. For a short-term isolation period, i.e. not when the whole school is closed, we'll stick to the same timetable and work will be set through a variety of platforms. We will look to deliver regular live lessons via Microsoft Teams. Students' work will be submitted and there will be feedback given regularly. If this situation was longer term, we would look to review the timetable. Work will be set on these 3 platforms: Show My Homework, Microsoft Teams, Google Classroom, and communication can also take place via the school email, not personal emails please. Can you ensure that your son or daughter can log on to these 4 areas? Access is via the quick links drop down on the school website. I would ask that you ask your son or daughter to show you that they can access these as soon as possible. If they cannot access these and there is any issues, please contact helpdesk@jhn.hearts.sch.uk. For scenarios where it is a class or a large section of a year group isolating, the provision would fall somewhere between the 2, depending on the different factors affecting the ability to teach 2 groups of students at once. We would obviously communicate this with you at the time. Our expectation of students working remotely are the same as if they were in school. We expect them to get into a routine, much like if they were attending school. So get up, have breakfast, get changed, find a space downstairs to work, and have all of the required equipment for the day's lessons. We expect them to attend all lessons, complete classwork and homework. In short, in Year 10, it's students' responsibility to take care of their learning. And of course, the standards of behaviour for online learning are the same as if they were in the classroom. Remote learning is difficult, but we are committed to continuing to deliver our outstanding pastoral care while students work from home, and the pastoral team will continue to contact students throughout this period. We will also continue to deliver an updated PSHCE programme. All of the information and more can be found in the remote learning guidance for parents that was created by Mr. Rose and was sent home 2 weeks ago with the new head teacher's newsletter. It is also available on the school website. Can I thank you for listening, and if you do have any questions about the content of my presentation, please feel free to contact me at the school. Thank you.